Within the time span of understanding the nature of the reality in terms of how you find yourself to be in, the most important focus is how to interpret its values for yourself to be able to understand how to navigate through it. What does it mean when people say, oh, you're in between two realities, or you are creating a new reality? What does it all mean to you? How do you understand that? Well, you've come to the right channel, and I will explain to you how it works in a very much more in a much more metaphysical manner, so that you understand how I read the energy within not just one reality but in multiple realities, so that you'll be able to understand where you place yourself in terms of how you experience it, experiencing it with you. And therefore we will keep that in mind. This is a deck called Cosmomancy. I have created it for this particular way. It is a brand new invention. It is something that this world has never seen before. You may have seen me use it a few times, and I will explain to you how to understand the nature of the reality. Welcome to the Arcana Veil. Within the nature of reality, we will understand that the first card, the first point of understanding any meaning to all forms of life, is that it is controlled and governed by something that is called the original creative force. The original creative force is what you may call God, or God source, or the One, or the great universal mind, however you wish to see it. And within that nature of knowing that it is essentially in ever-present form within the confines, density of the reality itself, you now know that within its form, its existence is essentially based on infinite potential. The mother of fire, that which is the feminine principle of light within itself. And light within itself is in the mind of the consciousness that seeks to find a place where light will penetrate into a wall, or the matter in which light can create something to come from that. In simple terms, in layman's terms, when you think on what it is that you seek to communicate with, when you want a glass of water to come to you, if you're very thirsty, most of that point of feeling that thirst is what will generate it for you to get up to go and fill up your glass of water. Matter, material, earth, earthly plane within the consciousness of mind. Coming back into the present point, if you are unable to stand up, someone will offer you a glass of water. Within that, the mother of fire, the fire in your mind, through that relationship that you have with the original creative force, will seed the nature of the material substance, the table, your environment, with inspiration, so that that glass of water can come to you in that way. In this nature, how do I read for you all of that which is part of the fabric of the entire universal structure and its other parts of dimensions that are almost unable to be read, which most people are unable to interpret, but only put it under one blanket, perhaps as ancestors or angels or gods or goddesses, perhaps even angels or demons, or that which has passed on as in spirit form. The inspiration comes through all of that. Every person, every energy, every being finds itself within the position of needing to present itself as something that you are unable to interpret at first. How do you interpret that which presents itself as something that is hidden from you? Because this is what smoke means. It means that something is under closed, it is subterfuge, it is closed down for you not to be able to understand it. How do you understand what is not visible to you? You learn to understand how to process duality, and that you know that by understanding duality, you cannot just be on the one side of duality or the other side, but that you embody both those aspects within your consciousness. And in that way, you're able to find out, seeing through, when you're whole, you're in a different frequency to be able to interpret that which is perhaps hidden from you. And this is something that is needed within the tarot community, which I'm just pointing out here because there's so many views on this channel, but very few that are actually subscribing to it, because perhaps maybe it's just too new, too foreign to understand. And this is why this channel is here, to stir the water of the consciousness so that light will come forward in the understanding of how to really interpret the nature of the reality for its meaning, for what it really means to you. It is beyond the science, and it is beyond the understanding of knowing that it is also beyond money. It is beyond the understanding of the fact that money as metal also comes from earth. Therefore, it is not segmenting itself in only the few parts of tarot, but in a metaphysical nature that incorporates alchemy within its form as well. You are curious, and some of you are very interested. I know this because I've just seen it here right now. I'm showing you how I read. This is important so that you understand that I'm not some sort of weird freak, that it's come from somewhere outside. I've been observing this reality for a long time. How do you interpret this? How do I interpret this? What does this mean? Why is this not tarot? Because tarot is four-sided, and this deck is toroidal. The entire way of the reading expands and gives you more expansion and consciousness. No, I'm not selling the deck, of course. I am trying to help you understand how to expand your views on the reality. Mesotheist. There is a focus on a frequency in which it is considered to be enemy number one if you are completely unique, and yet everyone seeks to have the thirst of uniqueness to come to them. When the uniqueness is presented in its way, the way that it's formulated here, this is just a small part for you. I'm happy to educate you so that you understand how I read. I'm only coming here to give you the advice and the guidance so that you're able to expand your consciousness, because that is what happened to me. And so therefore I am paying it forward. The mesotheist means it's a person or a being or a state of nature or consciousness of not believing into things that are belief systems that are covering the consciousness over their head, weighing it down so that there's just simply only cookie cutter duplications and quadruples of the same thing over and over and over. Aren't you sick of that? I see also something interesting is YouTube likes to not post my videos out at all if I use these cards. It only posts out the readings that are done with tarot. What does that tell you about how the nature of the reality and the thought form of the tarot channel, the tarot community, is commanding, controlling, and holding a lot of energy in place that suppresses uniqueness, very much like everything else in this reality? What is the outcome if you've decided to come here to learn to expand your consciousness? Because this is an invite, not an order, and it is done with love, and it is perhaps sounding a little direct because this is how I speak. That which you seek from the readings will present to you wholeness. Wholeness is the form that says This is your natural balance. This is the toroidal nature of your consciousness. In other words, you are in control of your nature. It is expansive and it allows you to have infinite potential. You are not in a box. You are within the wholeness structure. Your heart is that which beats and sends out frequencies, and this is the toroidal nature of your actual energy field. I will leave this with you. If this has found you quite intrigued, if you found it quite disturbing either way, in whatever way, shape or form, please drop your comment down below. Like, share or subscribe, or don't be here. It's up to you.